between.
Okay, and if she's not Asian, what are you guys gonna say?
She is Asian.
You don't know that. She could be Korean.
Am I assuming her ethnicity?
Yes, you actually
Did you hear what she just said?
She could be what?
She said she couldn't be Asian, she could be Korean.
Been to the Vanity Fair party before?
No, it's my first time. I'm nervous but excited.
Aww. What should I expect? Okay. Yeah.
All right, next one.
Tweeze some of your brown hairs. Oh, don't do that.
Is it filming?
Yeah.
What do you get when you mix an elephant with a rhino?
What?
Elephino.
Can you imagine being at the top of your game, rich, famous, and adored by millions, only to watch it all slip away in just a few years? 1 minute you're everywhere, your face on billboards, your name in headlines, your dance moves flooding every social media feed. The next, your name rarely trending, and the brand deals drying up. Well, that's exactly what happened to Addison Rae. Back in 2019, she was the it girl of TikTok. While still in school, she stumbled upon the app and within months became one of its biggest stars on the platform. Her viral dances, collaborations, and A-list connections made her an overnight sensation. She wasn't just another influencer, she was a phenomenon. Everyone wanted a piece of Addison Rae.
I knew you were very popular on TikTok. I didn't realize you're the 5th most followed person in the world on that app. That is crazy.
No, that is crazy. When I went out to the sweat tour at MSG, I came out with Charlie and Troy, and I was honestly really shocked. Like, even 100 people, when you see them in a room, it's like shocking because you're just like, this is a lot of people. But then to imagine like anything past 1,000, it's just like, it's really crazy.
Yeah,
so honestly, yeah, I can't imagine it because it just seems very vast.
Yeah, it's 88 million. You can't get your head around that kind of number.
But fast forward to now, and it's a different story. The girl who once dominated social media has seemingly faded into the background. No more viral dance trends, no more constant collabs. Even the brand deals once flooding in like an unstoppable wave have slowed down. So what happened? How did one of TikTok's biggest success stories turn into one of its most shocking disappearances? In today's video, we're going to take a deep dive into the story of Addison Rae, another case of short-lived pandemic stardom that faded into the shadows as quickly as it came to the limelight. For those of you who've been living under a gigantic enough rock to not know who Addison Rae is, here's a little rundown for you guys. Before TikTok, Addison was just a normal college student in Louisiana State University, studying broadcast journalism. But once she discovered TikTok in 2019, everything changed. She started posting dance videos, simple, catchy, and perfectly in sync with TikTok's culture. And just like that, she blew up. Her relatability, charm, and effortless dance skills made her an instant favorite. Within months, she had millions of followers. She soon dropped out of college to pursue social media full-time, moving to LA and joining the Hype House, a content collective filled with other rising TikTok stars. This move solidified her status as one of the platform's biggest and probably the dumbest creators.
Yeah, I feel like there's no like criteria besides like being a hard worker and like someone that's willing to, you know, like work and get where we all are and like I guess like stay motivated throughout it all and like not get distracted. Yeah. It is kind of hard, you know, like living with everybody. It is hard to like be serious at points, but like
it's business.
If you can come together and like
Brand deals came rolling in: Reebok, American Eagle, L'Oreal, and even a lucrative partnership with Netflix. Addison was living the dream. She even caught the attention of Hollywood, landing a starring role in He's All That, a Netflix remake of the 1999 classic She's All That. It seemed like Addison Rae was unstoppable, but if there's one thing about internet fame, it doesn't always last. Soon, cracks began to form in Addison's whitewashed image with a series of controversies, poorly thought business ventures, and very, very problematic parents. We're going to get into all the juiciest details of her downfall, but for now, let's jump back to the very beginning and try to understand who she was before she became famous.
I have 72 bays. Did I say 72? I'm at 73. And then y'all don't like me.
Hey y'all, my name's Addison and I'm at Madison's house and I'm just giving y'all a message. Be chill. Okay, so I was just walking. Addison! Stop ruining my vines.
Addison Rae was born October 6, 2000 in Lafayette, Louisiana, to parents Monty Lopez and Sherry Nicole Easterling. Her parents have been an integral part of her internet fame. They've been in many of Addison's TikTok videos. In fact, one of the initial videos of Addison that went viral on TikTok featured her mom, Sherry. Rae also has two younger brothers, Enzo and Lucas Lopez, who are now around 17 and 11 years old. When Addison started posting, her family was constantly in her videos, especially her little brothers and her mother. Addison also has a half-sister called Mace Newmeyer, who is older than her and has two daughters of her own. Not a lot of people know this, but Addison's parents have always had a very bumpy relationship. They've been on and off throughout Addison's childhood, which is why she had to move a lot from one place to another as a kid. Another thing we noticed while researching about Addison was her name. If you haven't noticed, Addison has the last name of her mother instead of her father. However, both of her brothers, Lucas and Enzo, have the last name Lopez. When we looked into it, we found that Monty and Sherry were actually not married or even together when Addison was born, so Addison's mother gave Addison her own last name. Her parents stayed separated for quite a while after Addison was born, until 2017 when Addison was 17 years old. That's when Monty and Sherry got remarried. However, they divorced again in 2019. All in all, their relationship was problematic.
Sherry and Addison talk about Addison's upbringing and her move to Los Angeles last year. In this episode, we learned that Addison's parents actually had gotten divorced when Addison was younger, and they were off and on for most of her childhood. Because of their rocky relationship, Sherry was a single mom for a while, and the family moved around a lot from Louisiana to Texas and then back to Louisiana. At one point, as Addison was growing up, Addison and her mom lived out of a camper while they had just one main room and a bunk bed.
I mean, we've never heard Addison really open up this much about her personal life. I feel like in interviews, we've only heard like a little, like this is like the unfiltered like reality. It explains a lot about why she doesn't have the same name as her father. They have a good relationship. Addison's mom and Monty, they're fine. But because they were so young when Addison was born, it was like very off and on. They got married and divorced, and then 6 years later when Addison was 6, they had her brother, and then they got back together. So I didn't know this, that they struggled a lot financially.
This is crazy. I didn't know this at all. I feel like we've interviewed her a couple times, and like, you know, even here in the studio, like she talked about her childhood a lot, but this never into this much detail. So this was really interesting for me.
According to Addison, she moved a lot when she was a kid because her parents never had a consistent relationship. Their financial situation was also not very great, which, according to us, could be the reason why Addison felt the need to put herself out there to be the breadwinner. Because of her parents' never-ending feud, she felt the need to perform to get their attention. That's when she started dancing competitively. At the age of 6, she was already participating in various dance competitions and even dreamt of becoming a Tiger Girl at Louisiana State University. In her high school days, she was an enthusiastic cheerleader. A lot of people think that Addison Rae has no real ambition or talent, and we understand why. But we think she just fell victim to quick TikTok fame. So many influencers these days have become overnight stars, gaining millions of views without actually doing anything, and this gives them a false sense of accomplishment. However, what they fail to realize is that if you don't actively try to put in the effort and do better, this fame will only last a few days and there'll be nothing more than a passing trend. Something similar happened to Addison Rae when she started posting on TikTok. Because from what we've discovered about her so far, she was a talented young girl before she became one of the most popular creators, and then the most hated creator on the internet. She wanted to be a cheerleader. She even gave auditions in 2019 for the official dance team of the Louisiana State University LSU Athletics. However, unfortunately, she was rejected, which was apparently a big bummer for her family since they were counting on her to make it to the team. After being rejected, she enrolled in sports broadcasting at Louisiana State University. Not only this, but she, along with her entire family, moved to Baton Rouge so that she could be close to her college and save money on commuting. So in 2019, before COVID happened, she was just a normal college student who was trying to graduate. However, life had something else in store for her because she chose to never complete her education. TikTok was at its height at the time. It was extremely popular, especially among young high school kids. Addison was also introduced to the platform when some of her sophomore and junior students from her school asked her to make a video with them, and this is exactly where the idea was born. Addison said in her interviews that she initially had no plan whatsoever of joining TikTok. She was a senior at LSU and always saw sophomores and freshmen making TikTok videos. Addison thought it was something for younger people. She believed that she had more important things to concentrate on. Little did Addison know that she would not only get it, but would also become the highest paid celebrity on the platform with a tremendous fan following of almost 90 million followers. And not only this, but her TikTok videos will land her in movies and on the front page of magazines. Addison told the internet that the first video she ever posted on TikTok was a video of her dad, who unfortunately got 1 like. She was so embarrassed by it that she immediately deleted it. The second few videos she posted were not too bad, and unlike the previous one, this one took off immediately. It was a video of Addison and her mom dancing to Mariah Carey's song Obsessed. She posted that video not thinking a lot about it, but woke up the next morning with over 92,000 likes on the video. This is the video she posted. And guess what? Mariah Carey herself liked that video later.
Okay, so TikTok, for like what it is, I feel like it's just similar to like Vine, you know, for sure. Like it gives off that same like energy in a way. Like, okay, it's, you know, short form videos, not necessarily the same content, but short form, super easy to use. And it's kind of like, it hasn't always been considered like a dancing app, but I would say now it fairly would be considered that. For sure. But it was like, you know, comedy, dance videos, kind of all mixed in one. Yeah. And I actually started it because in high school, there were people, like younger people, so I'd say like the freshmen in my high school when I was a senior, were doing like TikToks. And I was like, okay, I'll be in them, but like I'm not gonna get it because like I'm a senior, so I'm cool, you know? I was like, oh, no, weird. And so I ended up actually getting it in July of last year. And so I just randomly was like, you know what? I'm in my friends' videos. Why do I not just look at them and like see them? And then I ended up doing a video like later on with my mom, and it was my mom and I to a Mariah Carey song. And Mariah Carey liked it. And I was like, what? And that was like the first time like I'd ever been like noticed by someone that was like, I like loved and like listened to their music. And I don't know, it was the craziest thing to me.
Addison posted this video on July 19th, 2019. And by 2021, she was starring in movies, launching a makeup line, and chilling with the Kardashians. Yes, just one TikTok, and her entire life was changed forever. Well, maybe not just one TikTok, but it all started with it at least. After her first video went viral, she was in awe. So she kept posting, and people kept watching. Only a few months after that first video, she reached 1 million followers. People were flooding her comments section, complimenting her on her dance and offering to collaborate with her. This is when Addison realized that she could do way more than this and turn her TikTok into a business. When she hit 1 million, she told her parents that she wanted to drop out of school and take her TikTok seriously. So in December 2019, she moved to LA. At that time, the world was deep into the clutch of the pandemic. People were home the entire day, scrolling tirelessly through social media. This was the time when many influencers sprung to overnight fame. One of the major reasons why Addison became so popular during this time was because she had made fun, lighthearted dancing videos that everyone enjoyed. There was something in her style that appealed to the audience, and the fact that she was a student made her even more relatable. Now, if you've never seen Addison on your feed before, these next few videos that we're about to show you will give you a very good idea of the kind of videos she used to make.
Grab my hand, make the gang call up. Take it, take it, take it, take it. Hold my hand when I shake it, shake it, take it, take it, take it, take this ass better than basic. Basic. Take A's so you back to. I'm a savage, yeah. Classic, bougie, graduate, yeah. Classic, booty, pay, nails, take it out. Acting stupid, what was the boat? What can? Tell it, clavish, yeah. Hear what you want to do. Well, let's get the call. Well, tell me, baby, what's wrong? Let's get the call. What do you think about that? You want to do? Well, let's get the call. Tell me.
Well, you get the idea. Just random, cringe dance moves, no genuine conversation, and no interaction at all. Her content became even more consistent when she moved to LA and became a prominent part of an influencer content house called The Hype House. If you don't know what a content house is, let's quickly break it down for you guys. So content house is a shared living space where influencers, YouTubers, TikTokers, and other content creators live and work together to create digital content. These houses are designed to boost collaboration, increase engagement, and grow social media followings by having multiple creators in one location, constantly filming and posting content. You have to be constantly making content that gets views. And if you don't, you get kicked out. Addison Rae was also a member of a content house known as the Hype House. Now, if you don't already know, Hype House made headlines for all the wrong reasons. For a long time, it was one of the most famous TikTok content houses, founded in December 2019 by Thomas Petrou, Chase Hudson, Daisy Keach, and Alex Warren. It quickly became a hub for some of the biggest TikTok stars, including Charli D'Amelio, Dixie D'Amelio, Addison Rae, Avani Gregg, and Tyler Holder. The house was managed mainly by Thomas Petrou, who handled the logistics, brand deals, and content strategy. However, as we mentioned, Hype House created major controversies. Daisy Keach left after accusing Petrou of mismanagement and not giving her credit as a co-founder. Members threw huge parties during the pandemic, receiving backlash for ignoring safety guidelines. Big names like Charli and Dixie D'Amelio left early, and the Hype House Netflix series was widely criticized for being boring and staged.
I stayed in my bed and watched Hype House and it was trash.
Oh yeah, it's not a good show.
It's a terrible show. I thought it'd be like interesting, because I'm like, so many similarities. Maybe I can learn a thing or two. No. I've lost all respect for their platform.
Why did you lose respect?
Or maybe it's just very surface level. It just felt like a 16-year-old teen love story drama. So I don't watch TV.
I mean, it's not a good show.
However, in the beginning, the Hype House created quite an uproar, especially for showing, let's just say, very interesting relationship dynamics. And the most popular couple came out of this setting was, of course, Addison and Bryce Hall. Yes, the guy who got arrested for drug-related charges not long ago. When Addison was in the Hype House, she hit it off with none other than Bryce Hall. We mean two most hated internet creators getting together, what's not to like? There have been various instances where Addison and Bryce were linked together, but for whatever reason, they kept denying their relationship. Whenever Addison was asked about Bryce, she either dodged it or just said they were good friends.
We are just living life and experiencing things, and I don't know, I feel like, you really just never know until you give things a shot. And I feel like there's a lot of things going on in both of our lives, but I think when we're ready, we'll both let everyone know.
Whether they agreed or not, people knew that something was going on between those two. They were constantly making videos together, even after they left the Hype House. We mean, just look at these two. We don't know how they can ever deny being romantically involved.
She gon' enter and she twerk, twerk. She gon' enter and she twerk, twerk. She gon' enter and she.
Chris, are you turning up?
She gon' enter and she twerk, shake it. She gon' enter and she twerk, shake it. She gon' enter and she twerk, go crazy. She gon' enter.
Swerving. How you look so perfect when you worst it.
Really? You just ruined this whole thing.
The whole thing?
Yes, this whole thing.
Oh, man.
You were doing really well, too.
I never lit one. It's a metaphor, see? You put the thing that does the killing right between your teeth, but you never give it the power to kill you.
But things soon took a very dark turn for Bryce when he was arrested for drug-related charges in May 2020. According to a news article, Bryce and fellow Sway House member Jaden Hostler were arrested for possession of marijuana while on a road trip in Texas. According to Insider, Bryce was charged with possession of less than 2 ounces of marijuana, which is punishable in Texas by up to 180 days in county jail or a fine of up to $2,000. Both Bryce and Jaden were released after posting a combined $11,500 bail. People speculated that when Bryce was in jail, it was actually Addison who bailed him out. While Addison has never commented on this rumor, she never denied it either. Whether she bailed him out of jail or not, it was very evident by this time that these two were dating. Whether they were dating or not, they kept people hooked with their constant on and off situation. And there's nothing that the internet loves more than an unstable, indecisive, and chaotic couple. As for Bryce, he came into the limelight himself sometime in 2014 when he started posting on a platform called Vines. However, as its popularity decreased, Bryce turned to TikTok. He also consistently denied that he and Addison were a thing.
Yeah, I will definitely say she's the best girl that I've ever had.
On the other hand, Addison once replied, no comments, when she was asked the question by the paparazzi.
You guys back together? No comment?
No comment.
In an interview with Entertainment Tonight, she said that she and Bryce were only friends and she would like to keep it like this for now.
No!
You think I'm cute? Yes or no? Yes?
Okay, we are just friends. So it kind of just, we actually met in October and we started hanging out a lot. It was kind of like, we weren't even really friends, I would say. Like we were just kind of around the same people a lot, more acquaintances, I guess you could say. And then later into like October, we ended up just hanging out a lot. And like when I was coming back and forth to LA, like I didn't live here. I was coming back for like Halloween and like my birthday and stuff like that. We kind of just started hanging out more. And then like once I moved here, we like started hanging out a lot. And then we got like super close and like we were really, really, really good friends. We were talking and like kind of on and off, just like trying to figure things out. And like I'm also like I said, very new to this, and like he's been in this industry for a really long time. But you know, things happen, and then like we just decided like we're better off as friends for now because like we both have like totally different, I guess like lifestyles right now. Not necessarily just like apart from the social media, just kind of like we both are like looking to branch off to different things and like do different things. So I think right now we're just better off as friends, and like we both like mutually decided that. Like it was kind of just a thing that we were like, you know, we love each other so much and like we love being around each other and we're super good friends. So it's like I guess for now it's just best that we stay that way, and like, you know, we support each other 100%.
However, at the same time, they were teasing the audience nonstop, leaning into each other and almost kissing on camera. After Bryce was released for jail, Addison's mom Sherry also made this one tweet saying, "Stan Bryce Hall for a clear skin." This tweet came immediately after the drug incident, which made people speculate if she was supporting Bryce for his criminal activities. Honestly speaking, we wouldn't be really surprised if she was, given how unpredictable she's been this entire time. We'll get into that later in the video, but for now, let's focus on Bryce and Addison and their confusing relationship. We tried our best to put a timeline together of their relationship, but it doesn't really make a lot of sense. They were basically acting like they weren't dating, but doing all the couple things and teasing the audience with clickbait. However, their relationship finally came out, but not before they broke up once. What happened was that Josh, another one of Hype House creators, and Bryce accused Charli D'Amelio's boyfriend, Chase Hudson, of cheating on his girlfriend and texting Josh's girlfriend, Nessa Bennett, who is also an influencer. Yeah, it's like their very own teen influencer dating reality TV show. Huddy was brought into the picture when Josh and Bryce made sort of a diss track on Huddy called Still Softish. And this seemed to piss Huddy off because right after that, he posted a tweet exposing Sway House boys of cheating on their girls. Yeah, he did a complete Uno reverse on these two. He said in his tweet, "Since all my drama has to be put on the internet for the world to judge me, let's lay out everyone else's. Anthony got with Cynthia a week after we broke up on tour. Jaden actively tried to hook up with Dixie at her house on the 4th of July in front of me while she was dating Griffin. Griffin cheated on Dixie with Taylor's ex Kaylin and Bryce's ex Ellie. Jaden and Josh cheated endless amounts of times on Mads and Nessa for the past few months. Keo cheated on Olivia. The only person who has a right to be upset with me is Charlie, and I'm sorry I hurt her. We broke up and I messed up by kissing Nessa. I am not sorry to Josh. We are not boys, and we haven't been boys since he lied to Charlie, saying I had an STD 6 months ago, trying to get her to stop seeing me. I'm not going to let these hypocrites try and ruin my life without their lives being out on the internet too. We don't see any mention of Bryce in this particular tweet, but something definitely happened after this post, because right after this happened, Addison archived all of her posts with Bryce, hinting the end of their secret but not so secret romance. But then they posted a video together titled, "The Truth About Us." In this video, both Bryce and Addison kissed on camera and admitted that they were together. They also admitted that it was the second time they've been dating.
Days. It is true. I know I denied that. But we did date for 3 days one time, and then I broke up with him. After Bryce's little mishap, then we started talking every day and hanging out again. We ended things again talking after his birthday. I didn't say a word to you, remember?
Yeah.
And then we saw each other at places and I would not talk to you. After that, after the birthday scandal, then he bought me a gift and wrote me a letter for my birthday, and it was really sweet. And we were hanging out every single day. He asked me out October 13th. To be his girlfriend.
So this is our second time, and it's been more than 3 days.
This is our second time dating ever.
So it's kind of successful because it's been more than 3 days.
So we've been dating for like almost 2 months.
I guess that answers the last question. Are you dating?
Yeah, so we are dating, and we've been dating since October 13th. We're dating officially, and this is going to be really interesting to see where this goes.
Yeah, remember though, our designated breakup date is December 3rd,
So-
according to Addison's inside management.
But yeah, so we're going to see where this goes.
Yeah, I mean, December 3rd.
It's absurd how they are literally giving each other a deadline. It's almost like they're precogging their breakup. However, like we said earlier, it's just entertaining for the audience to watch. The constant up and down and the drama that comes with it. Also, spoiler alert, they didn't last till December because they broke up in March 2021, after Bryce went to Las Vegas and allegedly cheated on her. It was a very drawn-out and weird breakup, which left people speculating for a long time if they were going to get back together. Bryce made a video about it, which he confirmed that he and Addison had split up. However, he denied that he ever cheated on Addison.
One being, yes, Addison and I are broken up. I don't want to talk about specific reasons because that's our private business. I wanted to keep everything off of social media in the first place, but obviously that didn't work at all. I think everybody has their own perception and idea of why we broke up. I'll tell you right now, that's not true at all. And that will lead me right into the next thing I want to talk about. The cheating allegations. I already spoke up on Twitter about it. I said I didn't cheat on Addison, and I stand by that. I never cheated on Addison. Addison and I broke up around a month ago, and we kept everything semi-private on social media, but now that it's out, I guess this is me just kind of confirming, yes, we are broken up. We've been broken up for the past month. Both of us are going through a ton of things right now behind the scenes that we don't necessarily comfortably want to talk about to a camera especially. With all that stress, we've mutually decided that it would be best if we parted ways.
The Bryce Hall drama occupied Addison's content for a major part of her career. However, in the meantime, Addison had other problems to occupy her as well. For instance, launching a failed beauty brand, a perfume line, and saying things online that she does not know about at all. In July 2022, she went under fire for posting something 4 years ago. She reposted a video of a woman who said that Black Lives Matter is a cult and that all lives matter. She was accused of being racist for supporting such an ideology. In response, Addison posted an Instagram story apologizing for ever reposting that video. She wrote, "I owe all of you an apology. 4 years ago, I reposted a video which included a woman sharing her thoughts on Black Lives Matter and All Lives Matter that I should not have. Because of my privilege, I didn't understand and wasn't educated enough on the social injustices facing the Black community. All lives cannot matter until Black lives do. The Black community was and continues to be oppressed and damaged by systemic racism." You might think being stupidly racist might be the reason why she got canceled. At least it did the trick for only JS, but this was not true for Addison. There are tons of other reasons that led to her downfall. For starters, her infamous makeup line called Item Beauty. Now, if you've been to Sephora during 2021 or 2022, you must have seen her products, because Sephora was heavily promoting her brand. They basically had her makeup products on sale every week. However, only because it was not selling out. Now, Item Beauty had a few issues with it. First off, it looked like a very premature concept. To users, the whole line seemed like a hastily put together art project. There was no genuineness to the brand, and she herself failed to build the trust around her makeup. A few of her products were criticized a lot for being gimmicky and downright fake. All in all, there were a lot of negative reviews about her makeup. And it was not necessarily because the makeup was bad, it was mainly because people did not like Addison Rae. The brand did not feel authentic to her. It had no cohesiveness, and she herself was not passionate about it. And the thing about influencer brands is that they don't work if the users realize that it's not a passion product. Gone are the days when people used to buy products just because their favorite influencers' faces were plastered all over the product. Sure, they might buy in the beginning to test it out, but if you're not directly involved in your brand, it's not going to sell. Customers are just smarter now, and influencer marketing just doesn't work the same way it used to. This is a big reason why Item Beauty was shut down. Sephora partnered with the brand for a long time to make it work. However, it didn't work out. In the end, they had to put most of their products up for sale. Eventually, Sephora dropped the products and Item Beauty went bankrupt. If you go to Item Beauty's website or social media pages right now, you'll realize that it has no content on it anymore. And we, along with a lot of other people, think it was actually a very smart move.
Well, I think it's smart that Addison Rae shut down Item Beauty. To give a little background on Addison Rae, she became really popular from doing her TikTok dances and started in July of 2019. So popular that she did dances on the Jimmy Fallon show. So when she came out with Item Beauty, it didn't really feel authentic to her brand. Like, there's not a lot of cohesion in this brand. Like, there's these blue products in the back, there's some of these orange products in the front, there's a blue product right here. Not really sure what everything does. I think the branding got a little cohesive here, but it's really cool, but it just doesn't really feel authentic to Addison Rae. And her lip glosses were really good, but I think there's other good lip glosses on the market. And to give a little background, Nikki Tutorials did YouTube tutorials for 13 years before she launched a makeup brand. So I think it's smart that Addison Rae paused Item Beauty so she can focus on her music career, acting career, and do things that feel more authentic to her brand. Maybe one day she releases Item Beauty again, but I think she needs to start doing more makeup tutorials so that it feels more authentic to her brand if she wants to launch another makeup brand.
The fact that her website still exists but doesn't have any products on it is a sign that Addison might only be taking a break from her makeup line. She might return with rebranding once she feels more cemented into the mainstream world, which she has been trying since 2021. The reason why Sephora partnered up with her in the first place, even though her line was still very premature, was because, like everyone else, they wanted a piece of Addison Rae. This was the height of her fame. She was making headlines, and she was the new sensation. So it made sense when people wanted to collaborate with her, even big names like the Kardashians. Yes, you heard that right. Even the Kardashians featured her on the episode, and it was nothing short of hilarious. She actually had lunch with the entire family.
Everyone has sunglasses on except for me.
You can wear my glasses.
Here, look, I got some right here. Don't worry. I came prepared.
I like your nails.
Thank you.
I'm surprised Courtney doesn't have long, corally, orangey neon nails now.
Oh no, she's gonna redo them tomorrow.
She is.
She's gonna do long nails like yours?
No, should she?
No.
We all decided to get to the bottom of Courtney and Addison, so we invited Addison over for lunch, but without Courtney, because we just want to ask a couple questions and get to know her more.
We just want to feel her out a little bit. Wait, so where are you from? Like, what's your story? So you're from Louisiana.
When did you move here?
December.
So do you live with your parents?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been arrested?
What's your blood type?
What is your credit score?
Do you have siblings?
Oh my God, you guys, are you interrogating this poor girl?
So what does Courtney tell you about us?
Who's her favorite?
What the do you do to Courtney to make her so happy?
Honestly, at the beginning, we were like, wait, are they
I'm still thinking that.
hooking up? If it was like that kind of relationship.
That was the elephant in the room.
No,
if they were.
no, we're not.
It's okay if you are.
No, we're not.
Nobody judges.
No, but it is funny. No, it's just very weird that that's what the impression was.
Yeah.
For just like 2 seconds.
I'd say like 4.
Oh my God, you guys. This is making me uncomfortable.
She even went on to The Ellen Show and said that she was actually very good friends with all of the Kardashians.
Famous friends now, right? I'm seeing Addison Rae with the Kardashians, right? You know, which is also that's been making a lot of headlines and stuff like that. So are y'all good friends, like good friends with the Kardashians and stuff like that?
Yeah, they're like really good friends to me. I love all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask me a favorite. I can't choose.
Okay,
They're all great. I feel like everyone asks that. They're like, who's the best?
Who's the best? Yeah, exactly.
They are all so great. I feel like, you know, they're like more than what you think, and they're just so sweet and like down to earth and really good people.
There is also this one scene where she is teaching Kim how to do a split.
I'm freaking out a little bit because today Addison is going to teach me a TikTok dance.
Try to push down as far as you can. Okay, yeah. What?
You better work, Kimberly. I can't get down like you.
She's actually been really good friends with Kourtney Kardashian. They've been spotted together multiple times, and Kourtney even made an appearance on Addison's film, He's All That.
Oh no.
Who is it?
It's Jessica Miles Torres from Bunny Venom. Jessica! Hi, what's up?
You're going viral in the wrong way.
Okay, so you saw the video, and while it is unfortunate...
Unfortunate? My ex-husband's hiking accident was unfortunate, and he was mauled by a bear.
According to the duo, they met through David Dobrik, who is a mutual friend and instantly hit it off. Another factor to play in their friendship was the fact that Kourtney's son Mason had been obsessed with Addison's dances. To a lot of people, the episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians in which Addison showed up seemed a little too forced. In our opinion, Kardashians were not really buddies with Addison, and she was never going to be a regular on the show. That was just a publicity stunt. Of course, the Kardashians always have to go with the latest trends, and Addison was the hottest trend on the internet at that time. Besides her failed makeup line, there was also this Saddle Ranch scandal during COVID era when she was still dating Bryce, we're assuming. A bunch of influencers threw a huge Halloween party at Saddle Ranch in October 2020 during the lockdown, and as expected, people were furious about it. Keep in mind that this was a dark time for the entire world. People were losing their lives, patients were struggling to find beds at hospitals, and the medical staff was working day and night to save lives. Therefore, it was important for these so-called influencers to show a little bit more responsibility. However, they decided to go down to Saddle Ranch and throw a Halloween party. Addison Rae, along with other members of the Hype House, all went to the party, and it became a huge scandal online. A lot of people called them out for being irresponsible, even Ariana Grande.
Of all the things that we couldn't we have just stayed at home for a few more weeks like all the other countries that were fine and are better than we are? Like, did we really all need to go to Saddle Ranch that badly that like we couldn't have waited for the deathly pandemic to pass? Like we all really needed to put on our cowgirl boots and ride.
Honestly speaking, the entire thing was just sad. We're not talking about a bunch of teenagers here. These influencers were all adults who should at least know the severity of the situation that they were in. However, instead of spreading awareness and educating people with their platform reach, they decided to show their audience that it was okay to throw a party in the middle of a pandemic. But this was not the end of it. On March 19th, 2021, Addison released her very own music video of Obsessed. And let's just say that it was nothing anybody was too impressed about. At this point, we don't even have to say it. She obviously received a bunch of hate comments. But more than that, she was being made fun of. The song was about being obsessed with yourself. She said that the inspiration behind the song was that she could love herself as much as any boy, which is why she needed nobody. However, the audience speculated that the song was actually directed towards Bryce and how he was so obsessed with her. Addison was extremely disheartened when she received all these negative comments after releasing her song. She said in her interview with Vogue, "I'm pretty hard on myself in general. I have very high standards for myself, and that can be my downfall sometimes. I just wanted people to know that I really care about music and that I take it seriously. I put out Obsessed, and people didn't love it as much as I loved it. I was 19, It kind of crushed me for some time. I started feeling a lot of self-doubt, and those big dreams that I was pursuing, I just thought maybe I'm not good enough to do this. However, it's really hard to feel sorry for her when she acts like she's so full of herself during interviews.
I have to ask, who do you follow? Who's your favorite person you follow on TikTok? TikTok.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I follow so many hilarious people. I feel like I use TikTok as like an outlet to just go and like laugh all the time or like watch cooking videos or, you know, whatever. But I'm gonna have to say my mom, which is pretty biased, but.
Wait a damn minute.
That boy sus. Get the pump, that's a must. I don't trust. Oh cool, okay, oh cool.
It's cliche, but follow your dreams, and when people tell you you can't do something, use that as motivation to do it even more. And yeah, don't ever stop doing the things you love because people tell you not to.
What's this called? It's not really called anything. What would you call
Like
this?
the body roll.
The body roll, yeah. Oh, you're right. People definitely do say that. Okay, so like, we'll just add a little arm movement before. So
Arm, then straight down. Yep. And we're gonna go right,
left, right, left.
But again, she said it herself that her biggest insecurity in life is her body, even though nobody seems to have an issue with it.
I think that's honestly one of my biggest insecurities is my body.
Are you kidding me? That's insane though. Are you serious?
What do you mean, are you serious?
Well, because like you have
I
a
hate
good
my.
body.
Okay, let's relax.
No, you do.
No. I don't even like hearing that because it just makes me mad.
I guess I get a little bit of that. I think we all do that, no matter who you are.
But then
you
at
have
one
something
point,
that you don't like.
But then I like battle with the fact that like I'm like, okay, fine, then I'm just not gonna eat anything bad ever, and then I'm like never, like then I always feel like because I'm like, wow, I'm really not gonna eat anything I want, and it still doesn't do anything.
It seems like Addison, even though so popular, still doesn't feel good about herself, which proves that her songs, her entire persona, and her videos are nothing but fake. Her song was again not liked by people because it lacked authenticity. If she had been honest about her real life and tried to connect with the audience in a genuine way, she might not have been criticized so much. But it seems Addison has been learning with time, because she's slowly and gradually shifting towards mainstream media while removing herself from the internet limelight. In August 2021, her film He's All That was released on Netflix. It was a remake of a 1999 romantic comedy, She's All That, and followed the story of a social media influencer who realized the significance of real life as the story progressed. This was yet another attempt by Addison to separate herself from the typical influencer image. The movie was not too bad, but people still found reasons to make fun of her acting, especially because she said things like this during the interviews.
I feel like it couldn't have been any better, honestly. But I think a lot of people also don't know my background as much as they think they do. So like, obviously I've been in acting and people aren't really aware of that. So like, oh, this is so random for you to be wanting to do this. And I'm like, no, I've really wanted to do this my entire life. There's a lot of pressure, but I feel like I really worked hard to stand up to it.
According to Addison, she has an acting background, and her acting in the movie was not the most random thing ever. Yeah, sure, Addison. Anyway, Addison was still at the peak of her fame at this point. However, the trouble seemed to follow her wherever she went. She went to Jimmy Fallon's show where she demonstrated 8 different dances. Well, don't get us wrong, it was a very fun interview, but the only problem was that Addison forgot to mention the actual creators of these dances. This was a big issue because there has been a lot of debate on the dance scene about the fact that a lot of influencers have been stealing the moves created by Black creators. When Addison received a backlash, she responded by saying, "It is kind of hard to credit during the show. I definitely don't do them justice. They're all so amazing," she said, adding, "It was never my intention, and they definitely deserve all the credit because they came up with these amazing trends." However, her career didn't start taking a nosedive until July 2022. Her content was just a bunch of random videos. There was nothing genuinely authentic, no talking, no interacting. It was just her promoting product after product. We don't know if she was staying away from the internet scene intentionally, but by this time Addison Rae was fading quickly. Once an internet sensation, was now dropping back into the shadows. However, what really set her already disappearing influencer career back was none other than her own parents. Remember when we said that we would get into the details about her parents? Well, now's a good time to do it. In 2022, Addison's dad started acting extremely weird and embarrassing. He got into a relationship with a girl who was almost as old as Addison herself. Yeah, you heard that right. The girl in the picture was called Renee Ash. He basically told a then 25-year-old Renee that he was single and broken up with his wife. Their relationship apparently got so serious that Renee was even introduced to Tony's mother. However, in reality, he was with Sherry the entire time and they never broke up. Renee even talked about her toxic relationship with Monty Lopez in an interview and said,
Auntie.
Oh, that man is way too toxic for my life.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So, what happened? You guys ended recently, or?
I moved out a month ago. He's just very emotionally abusive, and he needs to go fix himself and needs to go handle things with his family, which I don't think he's doing, and get his life together. But that's all I gotta say about it. I wish the family the best. They're great. They're nice people, but there's something off in that man's head.
Are you guys still friends?
Oh,
or?
God, no.
No?
God, no.
He doesn't try to reach out to you or anything like that?
He does. He tries, but it's not gonna happen.
Okay, and like the whole time the relationship was toxic? I mean,
with a narcissist, it's great for a little bit, and then it turns sour very fast. So, that's all.
This was an extremely embarrassing situation to be in for Addison. And if this was not enough, her dad also got into a feud with this young female creator by the name of Tana Mongeau and started talking about her body count in a very offensive way.
Is Tana's body count above or below 300?
Mojo is calling out and exposing Addison Rae's dad, Monty Lopez, and it's getting ugly. It's King Asante, and let's talk about it. All started with Monty posting this TikTok saying that he wants to box Young Gravy. If you need some more context, go check out my previous video. And then Tana commented by saying, I'm calling the police. He responded with, about your body count, go take a bath. He then posted an IG poll asking people if they thought Tana's body count was above or below 300.
To this, Tanya Mongeau responds with a video exposing Tony Lopez for a bunch of other creepy things towards girls as young as 18.
Tana then responded with this TikTok.
But clearly, he wants to beef. First of all, why a grown man is even remotely discussing my body count. I've obviously seen the paparazzi videos of him stalking me down for a selfie. And I'm getting tired of the incessant FaceTimes and texts like these. And I think all of my young friends are very tired of him acting like this. If you want war, so be it. I feel kind of strange beefing with this man at his prehistoric age. So Monty, I'll take a bath, hopefully before you go to prison.
Not only this, but her father has been recorded multiple times FaceTiming other girls.
That, yeah, you know.
You so, I'm gonna screenshot you.
No, you can't. What?
I wanted to screenshot you because I can't go look at your gram.
Honestly, Addison's father is just a whole different breed, because he would fight for the wife who he cheated on even when they were broken up. He actually got mad at Young Gravy for saying in a podcast that he was into older women and that he would like to date Addison's mother, Sherry.
You're the king of MILFs. The biggest one would be Addison's mom.
They blew that crazy out of proportion where
right.
I literally was like, you know what, I want to date to the VMAs. Also, her husband has been trying to like piss me off.
Come on, little gravy. Open your mouth so I can shut it.
I'm not going to be petty and like make some response to him, but like if I could bring his wife to this shit, it could be kind of tight. So,
when Tony heard this, he was furious. He made a few really aggressive videos on TikTok challenging Young Gravy to a boxing match.
Hey, what do you think about Young Gravy talking to Sherry Nicole, Monty?
Look, I got something for Young Gravy, man. He likes to talk a lot of smack, and he's talking trash. But let's tell him, look, Jake Paul just backed his fight up. Let's get it into the ring. Let's get in the ring and solve it like men. Look, you like apples? How you like them apples?
Oh, wow.
Come on, little Gravy.
Hey,
Open your mouth so I can shut it.
Are you serious, Monty? You get in the ring with him?
You know I will.
Hey, Monty, if you fight Young Gravy, whose corner would Addison sit in?
Addison's a winner. She sits with.
He also posted this video captioned, "When Young Grave won't agree to a boxing match."
Can I get a
honesty, we cannot really imagine how embarrassing it must have been for Addison. She's admitted it during an interview and even called her father cringe.
Would you say that people over 30 posting on TikTok is cringe?
No.
What about 40?
No.
What about your parents posting on TikTok?
Yes. My only one.
Which one?
My dad.
What's cringe about it?
Sometimes he just posts very unthought out things.
But her father wasn't the only one she was mad at. It was also her mother because, in a surprising, or should we say not so surprising turn of events, she actually went out with Young Gravy. He took Sherry to the 2022 VMAs and they even kissed in front of the camera.
May we? Yeah.
So I felt like your response to...
I was just saying how MILFs, you know, deserve more attention, and that she was complimenting my date, so I thought it was perfect timing.
So when did you ask this lovely lady to be your plus
The
one?
moment that I knew I was coming to the VMAs, I did, yes.
Really? What is it about Young Gravy? He's very wholesome, I would say.
Believe it or not, I am a wholesome.
We
gotta roll. Yeah, we gotta roll.
We don't know if they were dating or ever dated for that matter, but it was definitely scandalous. Addison unfollowed both of her parents after this incident, and to be honest, we understand why.
Well, I've noticed that Addison Rae has unfollowed her mom Sherry on Instagram. This could be because of the drama with her parents, or it could be something else. What do you guys think?
Addison also has been in a bit of trouble for wearing an extremely risque bikini with the words Father, Son, and Holy Spirit written on it. This bold statement made a lot of Christians mad, but it also pointed towards something bigger. The fact that she was rebranding herself as someone who is no longer into lip-syncing to songs on social media. And sure enough, on March 23, 2024, a video was posted on Charlie XCX's TikTok account in which she basically announced her collaboration with Addison Rae on Von Ditch Remix. The collaboration with Charlie XCX allowed Addison Rae to explore a more mature and polished sound, blending 80s-inspired synth-pop elements with contemporary beats. This strategic move helped her shed the TikTok influencer label and establish herself as a credible artist in the pop music scene. The success of To Die For demonstrated her ability to adapt and grow, resonating with both her existing fanbase and new listeners. Beyond her musical endeavors, Rae has been intentional about her public image and personal growth. She has embraced a more sophisticated and fashion-forward persona, often seen in high-profile events and collaborations with luxury brands. This shift reflects her desire to be taken seriously in the entertainment industry and to diversify her career beyond social media. Rae's recent projects include her singles Diet Pepsi and Aquamarine, both released in 2024. These tracks have been well received, with Diet Pepsi amassing 56 million streams on Spotify within a month of its release. Currently, Addison is set to star in Animal Friends alongside Ryan Reynolds and Aubrey Plaza, which is set to be released on October 10th, 2025. Well, Addison Rae has definitely made her rebranding a success. Her collaboration with Charlie XCX, along with her refined music style and strategic career moves, has proven that she's more than just a TikTok influencer. It seems clear that Addison has intentionally distanced herself from social media to explore other creative fields, and so far it's paying off. From music to fashion and beyond, she's carving out a space for herself that isn't just tied to her viral past. But what do you think? Has her rebrand been effective? Do you see her as a serious artist now? Or do you think she still has more to prove? That's all we have on Addison Rae for today's video. If you've stayed this far into the video, then don't forget to give it a huge thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more such content.